It is time for Elko Live today, and in for the Tuesday slot, usually for the Elko City of Elko officials, they are taking a little time off, which is fine. They've been so busy. So Tuesday now has been given over to Great Basin College, continuing education, and the Humanities Center. So it gives me great pleasure to welcome friends in studio today. We have, of course, Katie Karnhem-Esh, who is the director of the Humanities Center at GBC. It's always a pleasure. Katie, welcome back.
Hi, thank you.
I'll have to scoot you right up to that microphone. And then Gail Rappa, who is Director of Continuing Education at GBC. Hi, Gail.
Hi, Lori. Thanks for having us. We love to be a substitute slot.
Oh, of course. Anytime. You guys can come on the radio. Great Basin College is such an important part of what it represents the best of our community, really. And I know the theme is igniting the fire, your personal and professional passion. So I'm sure that has a lot to do with what we're talking about today.
Absolutely. Yeah, we're carrying on the Ignite the Fire theme that started, that President Dinelli kind of launched in the fall of 2024, and we're carrying it on, into 2025. And so I really just wanted to come on and tell folks about some of the new things that we're doing in the fitness center and some of the offerings that we have, and then some of our other continuing education programming. And then Katie will talk a little bit about what's going on with the Humanities Center.
That sounds perfect.
Yeah.
So among the offerings, you are bringing back the very popular, and I think I could say that before COVID, but something called the Fitness Center Sampler. And you want people to sign up now.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, no, we're really excited. It's been years since this was offered, something like this was offered through the Fitness Center. So what it is a Fitness Center Sampler, and it's January 6th is when it starts. It's Monday through Friday, and it's that lunchtime hour, right? So it's 12 till 1. So folks that are working can kind of sneak away and take their lunch and try a different fitness class every day. It'll be this, repeat the second week. The classes go for 3 weeks. So Monday is pickleball, right?
Cool.
Yeah,
I
think.
Yep,
Yeah,
right
Mondays. Sorry, I have to double check. Monday's pickleball, Tuesday's meditation, Wednesday's strength training, Thursday's power yoga, and Friday is kickboxing. And Katie will actually be talking a little bit about power yoga because she's our instructor.
Nice. So. We love the sound of that.
Yeah, so it runs that 3 weeks before the semester starts. So it's just a great way to get kind of a head start before you sign up for your normal semester classes. We've got a lot of folks that are real regulars with signing up for Tai Chi and our strength training and our yoga classes. But there's that gap right after New Year's where there's like 3 weeks of nothing, and they're like, how do I stay in shape? So this is a great way to get you in there every day for an exercise class.
And I understand it's open to anybody who is at least 18 and older.
That's right. Yeah. And we made it really reasonable because we want folks to just kind of sample these and then see if they might want to try. A lot of folks, they hear about kickboxing and they think, oh, I'm not sure if it's really my thing, but this is a way to kind of try that, try some pickleball, try some meditation, yoga, all that.
And just as it suggests, being a sampler, it's entry level. So, and you're going to have people there guiding you so that you're not going to overdo it.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Just to kind of get you familiar again. But pickleball, boy, I think just about everybody wants to play pickleball. So that'll be cool.
Yeah, no, it's great. And it's, we actually, this past fall semester, we had a super successful pickleball class and open pickleball play. So this spring semester, we are offering 2 separate classes, a beginning class on Mondays for people who have little or no experience with pickleball. And then we have an intermediate class, intermediate pickleball skills drills class on Thursdays. And then the open pickleball play is a separate, you can just purchase that as a separate item too.
And we should make sure listeners are aware, Gail, that continuing education classes are different by design than they are just regular course classes.
That's right. Yeah. So you actually just register through us directly. You can register yourself online through our website, which is continuing-ed at I'm sorry, it's www, I was reading off the email, campusce.net/GBCNV. So you can register yourself, you can create an account and register yourself and pay via credit card all online for continuing education classes. So it's not like having to enroll in the college for a credit course.
Right. You don't have to be accepted.
Correct.
Yeah. And as mentioned, anybody who's 18 or older. So
for the fitness center sampler, but we do have, in fact, this Friday, we have a winter sports camp, and we wanted to do something for those kids that are home for Christmas and holiday break, and don't have a ton to keep them active. So it's just on Fridays, but it's the 3 Fridays of the holiday K through 12 holiday break, and it's volleyball in the morning, and then it's basketball in the afternoon. And you can sign up for one or both, and we're really excited because it's a great way for kids. Again, it's just one day a week, but it's the whole day, and so they can kind of have that experience of being around other kids, maybe learning a completely new skill in basketball and volleyball, or maybe just practicing what they already know.
And it's a great age for ages 10 through 14?
That's right, yeah. So it's 10 through 14. It's kind of that gap with a lot of the older kids, the 14 and older, are already involved in sports. And so a lot of times, because of the way that sports work, I don't need to tell this to parents, but if you don't get them in young, then they kind of get they sometimes miss out a little bit. So this is a way to just get those kids that want to try and play.
All right. So both basketball camp and volleyball camp, Great Basin winter sports offerings beginning this coming Friday, the 20th.
Yep. Yeah. And you can still sign up. And like I said, you can you can access it on the web. On our website. You can also just call us and we can do it for you over the phone, and that's 775-327-5300 is our office number.
And just as we were talking about the fitness center sampler, Gail, and we'll talk about some other courses, classes, and short-term offerings, these are designed to be affordable as well.
Yeah, exactly. We do our best to keep the prices really reasonable. We do have to pay our instructors, and we do have to cover the expenses for the fitness center and all the other different expenses that related to the classes. But yeah, this one is really reasonable. The fitness center sampler is only $75, which is just a real good price. Again, our hope is that you take the sampler and then you say, I had so much fun, now I'm going to sign up for one of the classes, but that's obviously not required, but encouraged for sure. And so we do our best. This is part of what we do is community outreach, and we are there for the community to provide classes, and we take recommendations from folks, and some of these classes are the result of recommendations of like, wow, I wish you guys did more kids class. I wish you did more art classes. We'll be talking about the art classes in a little bit, but yeah.
Great. Thanks, Gail. Again, the Fitness Center Sampler is 5 days of sampling, meditation, strength training, power yoga, kickboxing, and pickleball beginning January 6th, Monday through Friday from noon to 1 p.m., just a 3-week offering, $75. So get signed up now. Go online to Campus CE, that's Campus CE stands for Continuing Education, and that's .net, and then you'll / to GBCNV. So super cool, Gail. That's great. So do we want to go right into some of the other continuing ed classes too?
Sure.
Okay.
We can certainly do that. Like I mentioned, our other fitness classes, the new ones for us are the kickboxing and the pickleball. And then the power yoga. And since we have Katie right here, we might just have her, because I actually, we're creating a little video because somebody said, well, what's power yoga? And I said, I don't know. Let's ask Katie.
Let's ask Katie.
So Katie, do you want to tell us about power yoga?
Tell us about your special brand of yoga.
Well, I don't know that it's my special brand of yoga. The phrase was kind of coined by a California yogi named Brian Kest back in like 80s and 90s, and he's still teaching and practicing. And that's kind of who I got into yoga through, watching his videos. And his definition of power yoga is it's yoga that empowers you, and it's it's strength training for your whole body, not just the parts of you that everyone wants to look aesthetically pleasing. So, and it's also, empowering your mind as well, your breath, your lungs, your heart. So it's designed to be a very holistic and very full body. It's very still connected to mindfulness and the breath. So this isn't just, a workout with yoga poses thrown in there. It is a legitimate yoga practice, but it's pretty dynamic. We're on our feet, I would say. It's a pretty active class, probably 75% of the class, and then things start to wind down into stretching and meditation and relaxation. And I would say for very type A people like me who didn't do yoga for a long time because we thought it was just laying on the floor doing nothing, it's a really great way to discover that yoga is a very, very good way to balance out your physical body and your strength with the mindfulness. And for people who are maybe afraid of like a more intense class, I would say just try it and see if you like it. It will be accessible for everyone, so I make sure that whoever comes into my classroom is able to participate and able to get something out of it. I'm not gonna knock anyone out.
Not on the first day, anyway.
Not on the first day, anyway. Yeah, but I would just say, come try it, listen to your body, take it at your own pace, and hope you love it.
That sounds great. So it is part of the Fitness Center Sampler, and then I guess based on the popularity, could be an ongoing class?
It'll be in the semester as well.
It will be as well.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
It's a semester class on Thursdays.
Okay.
She's
checking out the schedule.
I know, I'm
there.
checking out my schedule. It's from 12:15 to 1:15, starting at the beginning of the semester.
Okay, so good thing to know that a lot of these courses may be daytime. They may fit in with a professional work schedule, which is good to know. So yeah. So get back on campus, Great Basin College. They want you back, that's for sure. Igniting your personal and professional fire. We're talking with Gail Rappa and Katie Karnhem-Esh from Continuing Education and the Humanities Center. And we'll come back, Katie, and talk to you more about humanities stuff, which is super cool. She's already she's been working on spring semester, so yeah. But in the meantime, we still have some other offerings.
We do. And I'll just, one thing I wanted to make sure folks were aware of is that the Fitness Center membership for the community is a wonderful option, and we have extended the hours. So normally where the Fitness Center doesn't start, doesn't open for the membership until the beginning of the semester, we were able to extend our hours. So starting January 6th, that week, you'll have access to the Fitness Center. So if you sign up for a membership, you can start then. And it's, again, really reasonable. It's $65 for the whole semester. So it's really, really reasonable. We want folks in the community to, get in there, use it. We've got a couple of really wonderful, like state-of-the-art treadmills with the screens, and like kind of the Peloton model of treadmill. And then we've got rowing machine, weights, a lot of free weights, stationary bike, and then of course you can have access to the gym when they're not doing open pickleball play. There's the gym is available for basketball. And just general usage as well.
It is a beautiful facility located there in the heart of the Great Basin College campus, just off the solarium. And what are the daytime regular hours?
So from January 6th through the 24th, it'll be 8 to 11 and 1 to 5, Monday through Thursday. And then when the beginning of the semester on January 27th, it'll start the regular hours, and that is basically starts at 7 a.m. and is open till 7 p.m. It just kind of depends on, and then whether there's classes in the middle of the day. It kind of. But if you're using the weight room, you pretty much have access to it all the time that the gym's open.
Yeah, that's a great membership, great value for that. And you do have access to, wonderful GBC people who can kind of answer some questions for you. And if you get started with these classes, then you'll already kind of have a leg up, I guess, if you will.
Exactly.
So, you know how to use the gym. Yeah.
Exactly. And then I did want to also put one of our new ones that we're starting in the spring is a youth tennis clinic. And so some folks in the community know Rick Whittington. He's passionate about tennis. He was a professional tennis player, And his drive is really to get young people interested in playing tennis so that the sport can stay alive. And so he's got a small group youth clinic. It's Tuesdays and Wednesdays, and it's from 4:15 to 5 p.m. And it starts at the beginning of this. Starts on the 28th of January. We still have a few spots left in that one. So if you've got a youth, and I will double check the age. It's a young age group. If you've got a kid who you think might be interested in playing tennis, then contact us and we can get them set up in that.
And knowing Rick, too, he's been really generous in the past. I think he, for example, if you don't have equipment, there's things to loan, or he knows of people that will loan equipment, too. So,
exactly.
yeah.
And actually, all of the equipment is included.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah.
Okay, because that is huge. You don't always want to invest in something if you're just trying it out for the first time.
Exactly. Yeah. And again, excuse me, really reasonable. It's $80, and that's for 6 sessions. So it's Tuesday and Wednesday from January 28th through the middle of February.
All right. That is a youth tennis clinic in particular, and that's through Great Basin College Continuing Education.
Right. And it's ages 5 through 9 is
that's
the number I was
great.
looking for. Thank you.
Yeah.
For your
ages
patience.
5 through 9.
Yeah.
That's fantastic, Gail. Well, I know you mentioned, you want to talk about Argentum
No,
next?
that's okay.
Or
Sure.
you mentioned art classes.
Yeah. So when we are, our ceramics classes are always really popular, and Allie, who's in charge of kind of facilitating the ceramics studio, has been adding some new ones. And so I wanted to shout out for the ones that I think are going to be super fun. And they are the wheel throwing date nights.
Oh, that's so much healthier than Tinder.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, come on, you guys.
So she's got 3 of them lined up for February, and I think she's already. I'll have to double check. I think there's one for the end of December as well. So they are from 5 to 7:30, and they are. It's $75 per person, or $150 for a couple. And you will, it's a way to come and like have a fun date night where you actually are throwing on the wheel, with a bunch of other folks that are there on their date nights. And it's a pretty small group. I think that there's might be an 8-person maximum. I'll have to double check on that one with her. But so it's just a small, intimate group of people that are just wanting to have fun, and then you get to create this. You get to create something, and then it'll be fired for you after the fact. It'll be, and you'll end up, having that memorable piece that you created during your experience. So
wow, what fun!
Yeah, so we're already filling up the people are already. There was one for Valentine's Day, so that one's already filling up. But anyway, we're really excited about that.
Yep.
We want to be doing more things, fun short-term things like that, so that folks can just kind of get in there, literally get their hands dirty, have that experience, and kind of decide like, hey, I might actually want to sign up for a whole semester of this clay stuff.
Yeah, especially if it conjures images of Patrick Swayze and Demi Moore. I mean, that doesn't hurt,
Yeah, I don't know if there's going to be a reenactment of that.
No, that's your personal business, and that's not going on at Great Basin College, but we're adults here, so. Right. What fun. So what a great, cool example of something new and different at continuing education, Gail. Super cool.
Yeah, it's really fun. Yeah, and then we've got our really popular Bob Ross painting classes with Lee Ray Reese, and those are always fun. It's always one Saturday a month, usually the second Saturday. So keep an eye out for those. He just had one in December, and there'll be another one in January. And if you don't, if you're walking around and you see the Everything Elko magazine floating around, we always have our calendar of events, and upcoming classes in the Everything Elko magazine each month. So that's a great way to have kind of something to hold in your hands, and then all the information on how to either contact us via phone or sign up on the web pages in that Everything Elko as well.
And that's really nice because, you can make your decision right then and there. I am going to sign up for this class, and then make the call or go online.
Yep.
So, yeah, it's not often when you're making a commitment to college classes, then, that's different. But this is something you can enjoy short term.
Yep.
So that's beautiful, Gail. So other types of art or outreach, I know that you got a shout out in the Terrace at Ruby View, the Elko Senior Center's newsletter. They're excited about the new year.
Yeah, no, I have to follow up with Matt McCarty, but we were talking about ways that we can provide more for our seniors in our community and what that might look like. So we're really excited, whether that means hosting some events up there or getting them onto campus, or maybe a little bit of both.
Yeah.
So we're really excited about that.
That really harkens back to the days of, former art professor Sarah Sweetwater, Professor Hannah. I mean, I'm going way back because they really saw the senior community in particular, because these are the people that helped to create Great Basin College,
right.
More than 50 years ago. And so it was a way to give back to them to say, even though some of you already have advanced degrees or you're not interested in earning degrees, we want you to celebrate this college and all that higher education and enlightenment can bring to the individual.
Absolutely. Yeah. I mean, our tagline obviously is, the home of lifelong learning, but that really is what it comes down to. And no one, we know no one ever stops learning. It's just that sometimes it's easier to learn in a group, right? Rather than just on your own. And a big part of what, especially with the seniors, is just bringing folks into community, having contact with other folks, so that you have a sense of not being quite so isolated.
Gail, thank you. You and I both attended the Creative Aging Conference hosted by Nevada Arts Council, and so it's easy to say. I mean, we were inspired by that as well. We want that to happen in our community.
Exactly. Yeah. No, and that's definitely on the agenda, is to partner with them and see how we can bring some of that programming into the rural areas, because, I think rural seniors in particular are more challenged with not having as many activities to participate in.
So whether it's on campus or at the Terrace at Ruby View, which is, they're going to be going through their own rebranding, by the way, it's just going to be the Elko Senior Center, which is cool. And so we'll talk more about that in the new year as well. Great. I want to make sure that we're getting to classes, courses, because I know Katie's just like anxiously waiting in the wings, but much of what you do complements each other too.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. So I think, fitness center art classes, we're also, we've got our lineup of driver education, which is really important. I mean, I think what a lot of folks don't realize is when a student takes it, it's an online driver education course that we offer, but it is instructor led. So we have, real live instructors from our community that lead the online course, so that you're not just being taught by a robot. And what it does is it allows you to have students that take this course only need half the amount of hours that they would otherwise in order to get their driver's license. It also can really help on the parents' insurance. A lot of insurance companies will give a discount if they've gone through this program. Plus, it just helps them pass the test. Yeah. So when they go in there to finally do their test, they have all that knowledge, and so that's really helpful. So it's 6 weeks, and the next one starts on January 8th, and then it just goes from there. We've got January, February, March, and April.
All right, Gail, that sounds great, and it just helps them be better, more safe drivers. I mean, that's the ultimate goal too.
Exactly.
Okay, so find out about Driver's Ed too, offered in our community at Campus CE, which is campus. CE stands for continuingeducation.net, and then / to GBCNV.
Yep.
And I think it'll be a good segue to the work that Katie's doing with the Argentum.
Right. Yeah. No, this is a perfect segue to move on over to Humanities. So Argentum, the theme for 2025 is Ignite, which we're really excited about. And for folks that aren't familiar with Argentum, it is the GBC's arts and literary magazine, but it's open to the community. So we have community can submit writings and artwork, and then it'll be judged by the panel of judges, and then accepted to go into into the publication. So the deadline to get entries in is February 14th, which is Valentine's Day. So here's an idea. Why don't you get it in and then reward yourself by going to the date night ceramics? So we just need that. It has to either be, postmarked or deadline that, or, turned in on that day if you're getting it. If you can't drop it off in person. We have, because we have work that comes from all of our centers, Ely, Winnemucca, Pahrump, that everyone participates in this. So, as do their communities.
And these are some fantastic works that are all gathered into this one publication. 20 years now for Argentum.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, and so it's poetry, it's short writings, it's essays.
Fine art,
photography, digital media. There's just really no limit to what you can put in there.
All right. So for more information on that, you can find an Argentum, if not a tab, but is it under continuing ed, or is it, I think it's just I think the GBC website's going to be redone at some point. Yeah. It's always a work in progress.
Right. But right now, you can go to the GBC website, and under community, you click on that and the drop down will give you Argentum, or you can just go to www.gbcnv.edu/Argentum.
Thank you, Gail. Gail Rappa is the Director of Continuing Education for Great Basin College. And you can pop in anytime. You're just going to be sitting here, but it's Katie's turn now. Yes. And Katie, it's great to have you back. I think the first time you came on, you were only just a few weeks into your new position here at GBC, right?
Well, the first time I was in here was my first day of work at GBC, but I didn't say anything. I just watched and observed it.
Well, no wonder, because I was trying to say, so we need to introduce you, first of all. We appreciate you and your husband both relocating from nearly across the country. If you consider, some people think, that's outer space because, being from the outer edge of the Midwest, right? Yeah.
Yeah, we were on the eastern time zone of the Midwest, so way over there.
Yes,
so,
yes.
Yeah.
So thank you for coming. And maybe just talk a little bit about yourself and what you did and what you're bringing to Elko for us.
Yeah, my husband and I taught English at a small liberal arts school in Indiana, for me for 16 years and him for 17. And, life sometimes throws you curveballs and you end up in Nevada, and we're delighted to be here. So we just bought a house and moved in this weekend, and we love it here. So
we love having you here. What a great addition to Great Basin College and the community. And so Katie Karnhem-Esh is the Humanities Center Director, and without throwing another curveball, can you tell us what are the humanities? Because sometimes, I get involved in discussions with people and like, you don't need that stuff. We need more sports, and we need, but we need all of it, right, Katie?
I think when I think about some of the events I've been to here in Elko or here in Nevada, the ones that people seem to really resonate with all had the humanities as a basis, whether it was the Fire and Ice Festival at GBC last week with the Coraliers and the Readers Theater and the Voices and the art and the ceramics. That's all humanities, or the festival. But, it's those kind of disciplines like philosophy, art, history, music, literature. And we can think of those as kind of like ancient disciplines, but I think they're ancient because they've been part of our human story throughout all time. And I think, for me, the humanities is always kind of trying to figure out how to tell a story in various disciplines, and storytelling is one of my great loves. My background is in creative writing, but as a Humanities Center coordinator, it's been a real joy looking for how people tell their stories in various mediums and how we can showcase that here in the community.
So it sounds as though petroglyphs are humanities.
They are, absolutely.
Yes, yeah. Well, that's delightful. And so what we're going to talk about with Katie is the Humanities Center offerings. And you had a great experience being able to dovetail with Gail and the work and the foundation that she laid. We came through the pandemic together. A lot of things were sidelined, but there were some amazing events that you were able to pick up. And now you're even expanding and growing and going to create some new events, right, Katie?
And we have you to thank for one of our last ones we had back at the end of November. We had the One Small Step StoryCorps oral history event on campus, which I think is your connection with KUNR that made that happen. So that was wonderful, and we've had people say we should do this again. So I think we're figuring out how to do that again. Yeah, do you want me to kind of go through my list?
Oh, please do. Yes,
Yeah.
I want to make sure we get to what you were hoping to today.
So first of all, we have cowboy poetry coming up at the end of January. It'll be my first cowboy poetry, and I'm so excited. Gail Steiger is going to be doing a talk at GBC, tentatively planned, or I think definitely planned for January 31st around noon. Details of that will be forthcoming. And he's I understand he's like one of the originators of cowboy poetry, so I'm very excited about that. We're working on our book club schedule. I would love to see us do a regular monthly book club. The first one will be February 14th. There's a lot of things happening on February 14th. We're going to be looking at the middle grade nonfiction book, Colonization and the Story of the Wampanoag. This book it kind of became infamous because it was reclassified as fiction, even though it's a nonfiction book, and then enough people petitioned to get it reclassified. Is just in one school district, but get it reclassified as nonfiction because it is a true story of what happened to the Wampanoag people. So we're going to be looking at that book, and GBC's Laurie Walsh is going to be leading that conversation. That will be noon on January 14th. That book is in the GBC library if people want to pick it up and check it out and read it. We're working on an April National Poetry Month event with Nevada Poet Laureate Sean Griffin. That date will be forthcoming. And then we're looking at, for Asian American History Month, we're going to do a book club on, it's an anthology of Japanese American internment literature. So literature that was written by Japanese Americans while interned. So those are some of our immediate ones. I'm really enjoying getting to meet so many people involved in, whether it's nature or whether it's the humanities, and just thinking about some creative ways to do programming. So.
Well, and we really do have a vibrant community of artists, people who write, who dance, who sculpt. I mean, I'm not saying that was probably a surprise to you and Tim, because you're involved in humanities and you know that it exists anywhere there are humans. Right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, well, this is thrilling. So everything that you've been describing just now, Katie, you don't have to be a Great Basin College student.
Oh, no. These are all open to the community, so.
No matter, if you're a student or you're a senior or somewhere in between.
Exactly.
Wow.
We would love to have people come and participate.
So does GBC Humanities have the Facebook page or website, or what's the best way to?
We have Facebook and Instagram, and so feel free to follow us on there. You can also email. The email, I believe, is hc@gbcinv.edu. Or you're welcome to email me. Fan mail only, please. But
Of course. Nothing but. Yes. Right. Well, this is great. Katie, thank you. Did we give you enough time to talk about all the cool things? Have you got to your list?
I think so.
Okay. Well, that's enough. That's good stuff.
Yeah.
I know that more work is evolving. As you said, you like to hear from the community. The humanities represent any variety of culture and activity. You can just imagine how cowboy poetry started out, and then look where we are 40 years later. So with the 40th. We'll close out with also some special news from Great Basin College Foundation. Leslie and Hillary, and her small but dedicated staff, the lifting that they're doing. Yeah, Kelly, thank you so much. Yes.
Yeah, no, it is. It's a very, they've done amazing work this past semester in particular. So the GBC Foundation is one of the organizations that was chosen to accept donations through the Light of the World Giving Machines, which are located at the Elko Junction Shopping Center next to Rayleigh's. They're going to be there from now until January 1st, and you make direct donations directly to the GBC Foundation, and those go for mental health for services for our GBC students. Textbooks, nursing student uniforms, graduation regalia. Not everybody can afford to get their own. and tools for trade students. So you can select where you want your donation to go in this little vending machine. And 100% of the donations goes directly to where you chose your donation to go. And it's thanks to the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints for covering all the administration cost and fees. So all the funds can go directly to where you want your donation to go. So there's a lot of other wonderful organizations that are benefiting the Elko Senior Center, Horizon Hospice, Head Start, Communities in Schools, et cetera, et cetera. And each day, they do have, the giving machines do have their own social media. So if you look on their social media, that day they will post what their event is. So I guess each day there's a different activity. Sometimes it'll be like a choir. Sometimes it'll be a little play or some sort of, performance or something that happened at the location of the giving machine. So that's pretty fun.
Wow, I did not know that. I'm going back for more sugar cookies.
Yeah,
those
there
were
you
amazing.
go. There you
Yeah.
go.
Well,
And speaking, can I shout out to ours? So, a lot of folks, if you aren't grabbing, and everything Elko to look at the schedule, follow us on Facebook. That's where you can find the most up-to-date stuff. If you go to Great Basin College Continue Education on Facebook, we're also starting an Instagram and a LinkedIn account. So those will be places you can also follow us. But right now, Facebook is the best place to see our posts on our upcoming classes and activities.
thank you, Gail, so much. And again, give generously to the giving machine set up there at Rayleigh's, and enjoy this beautiful, wonderful season of community. And hopefully we can keep this great spirit going. So thank you both for being part of it and being here representing Great Basin College, which it's our college. So it's wonderful to have you here on the radio talking about all the things that we get to enjoy with our college. So I should give a shout out, because I haven't done that yet, to retired Senator Pete Goigachia. Yeah. Senator Goigachia has been named to fill the vacancy on the regent seat, and all parties involved in this agree, and I think that's important to know, because if you know, you know what I mean, that Senator Goigachia is going to be very important going forward to help this board navigate the legislative session.
Right.
Because there's been a lot of scrutiny, but there's a great deal to be accomplished. Pete will be a wonderful rural representative.
Yeah, absolutely. And Pete, I mean, no one knows the rurals like Pete, you know?
Yes.
You know, you have to be a eureka farmer to understand the ins and outs of the rural Nevada communities. But so I think it's going to be a wonderful benefit to all of our Great Basin College campuses.
Very kind, generous man, and his influence is widely felt, and we are so appreciative that he's willing to step back in even before he got the dust off his clothes from being a senator.
Right,
so yes,
exactly.
So thanks again to both Gail Rappa, who is Director of Continuing Education at GBC, to Katie Karnhem-Esh, and shout out to Tim, her husband, who's also amazing, and happy you're settling in there in your new home. We're excited for you. And Katie is the Humanities Director at GBC. Find out more about anything we've been talking about, gbcnv.edu. Registration and advisement is underway now for the spring semester. It's coming right up, so don't miss your chance. Thank you, listeners. Look at all the time we took today. Wow, cool. Thank you, listeners, for joining us for Elko Live today here on KELK.